Hi everybody, welcome back. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about one particular game. This will be kind of an unboxing plus gameplay, but I'll be doing it in a reverse order. You'll be kind of like a gameplay then unboxing, or rather boxing actually, because I'll be putting it back. But let's start with the gameplay. So a brief introduction on this game first, maybe before we get into that. So this is a Creature Comfort. It's actually created by Roberta Taylor. Actually it's by this company called KTBG, which actually I don't think they have actually created a lot of games, but pretty cute artwork. As you can see, creatures are preparing for fall and winter. You get the gist anyway. So it's for 1 to 5 players, 8 plus, which means that it's really simple, but well, that's subjective. It depends on how much understanding you can get by the time you're 8 plus, but it's about 45 minutes. I played much less than that for a solo game, obviously. So let me just go ahead and talk a little bit about the gameplay before I go into the components, because that is how I really lay out. I really played one game actually, and really completed the game, as you can see here. So let me just briefly talks about how the game is being set up, so that we can start the start the game again if we want to, and and then we go on with the rest. So in this game, there's a lot of very nice components. So before I go further, the disclaimer is that this is the Kickstarter version. You get all these very nice meeples with with some decorations on it. I mean, and it's it's cutely shaped, everything. If you were to get the retail version, it's all just cardboards. Also this will be cardboard. So this is like I'm not sure if you actually get the hint, but this is the first player marker. It's the early birds gets the worm. Okay, so it's a very cute way to put the first player marker. And the board is set up in a way that I would say that there's many components of it, very much like this game. I compare a lot with Sai. I don't know why, but it makes me feel that way, because mainly at the start you do have this board. So these boards are at the start, you have 4 homes here, which actually is covered all your your bonus scores. You haven't unlocked them until you can get some of these home improvements. Once you get the improvement, you move one of your improvement tokens onto the homes that you actually own, and it unlocks this this portion of it. This is a very familiar. If you played Side before, Side actually has the same thing. You actually have den and holes where you remove, you unlock the bonus. So also they have workers. So these workers also works the same way. So in a way that kind of reminds me of Side. So that's why I really compare with Side. But how are you going to teach Sai to 8 years old, or maybe even someone 10 or 12 years old? So the first thing you do is cute artwork. So cute artwork works for kids or younger people. It also works for adult like us. Obviously we like anything that looks pleasant, cute, and it's familiar ground, such as you get to build things like board games, and look at this piggy bank and all this, and each of them give you either powers, or it gives you a more victory score. So all the hearts, as you can see, is how comfortable your creatures are, and you get more points for it. And although the fractions are not asymmetric, but they have asymmetric tokens. So we have this fraction, we choose the yellow. They are actually the bunnies, a family of bunnies, and you get the bunny token, obviously. And this game, in a way different from Sai. The Sai is deterministic, but this game has a bit of luck. And how the game actually goes about is that you first roll 2 of these dice, which is actually what I call your family dice. And after rolling them, you actually can see 2 numbers. So for example, if I were to roll this is a 1, by the way. So I get a 1 and a 3. So 1 and a 3 has already been determined. And this is what I know partially of the outcome. And there's 4 other dice which you will only roll after you have decided where you want to invest your workers into doing. So for example, let me just run through something simple. This part is actually a quite interesting part. So this part consists of 2 stacks of cards. So where 1 stack of them is what we call the forest. So this is the forest part. and this stack is actually the meadows. So each of them will be set up in a way that it consists of 2 spring, 2 summers, and 2 falls for a short game, or 3 spring, 3 summers, 2 falls. So by the time the game reach winter, as you can see here, the game ends, and you know, your creature will retire, and whatever things that they're built for their comfort is actually what they get. And the artworks is very nice in the sense that, you know, look at the tiles. It goes in and it blends with the board itself. As you can see, I have too many cards, so you know. But if you were to put 1 card here, you know, you can see that it's joined. So it's a very nice design for this, and obviously very cute. And each of this section actually has you know, 2 different sections where you can place your dice in. So not dice, I mean place your worker. So for example, let me just run through something very simple. So you need for example, this section, you'll get 1 log and 1 apple when you manage to get a 6 on it. So obviously here we only have a 1 and 3. We don't have a 6, but supposedly we might take our chance and hope that a 6 do turn out when we roll this. What we do is that we take a gamble, and we actually can place one of our worker here. You know, hopefully we get a 6, and then, you know, we can get this reward. So this is how the game kind of you know, try your luck kind of the things. And there are other combinations, such as, you know, you need 2 dice, which is even. You need 3 dice. Total must be 6 or lower. This is a good chance because, you know, we have a 1 and 3. All we need is another 1 or 2, and we're below. Or, you know, in fact, yeah. And we need this one is you need another 2 dice add together is 7. Okay, so as you can see, there are some elements of luck, and you know, you get different components from different sections. And within each season, each turn, in fact, they will change, and then some of this will only, actually not some, all of this card will only be run once. So you only get to see it once, and then, you know, it's gone, and then you have to, the next turn, different things will turn out. So this is the first part of the board, where it's like, you know, they call the valleys, is beyond the river. So on the river side itself, you know, I think maybe it's like, you know, random stuff will float down on the river. So we have this down, which actually you will run, there's both sides, we will randomize, place this, and then you know, in any order you put, and it depends on what dice, which part you decide to you know, put your worker on. You can try this side. This side is pretty good because if you put a worker here, all you need is either 2, 3, or 4, and you actually gain 1 rock. But if you're a bit greedy, and you know, and you feel that you're really lucky, you can always try something like here, which requires 5 and nothing more. You will get 1 coin and 1 rock, or 2 rocks if you get 1 and 6. So obviously, if you already have a 1 here, you're confident that you want to use that dice here, or, you know, you can actually just place your worker here, and that's how it goes. So so this part is one of my favorite part to get the resources first based on whatever you have here. So you take a look, and I usually aim for this because this always gives you a coin, which actually is pretty good. And this is, and the next part is what we call a traveler deck. So traveler deck consists of a lot of cards. So I don't think you will run through all the cards. In fact, when I play a short game, I only have 6 turns, so I run through only 6 of the cards here. And each of these travelers, they will only be here for 1 turn. They will give you different benefits. So for example, you get this this guy is called Pilated Woodpecker. You can actually change some of the resources depending on what dice you place here. So you can change wheat to yen, or yang to mushroom, or mushroom to wheat. So in different numbers. So if you need some of these resources, this will be the time that, you know, you need to place a worker here to actually gain the benefit of changing it. Plus, it also has something that is reoccurring for the whole month, depending on the different travelers you get. So for this one, all improvement and comfort in this round will actually cost 1 wood less, regardless on the card. So this is a fantastic turn to build anything that, you know, that require wood. For example, you know, like the board game doesn't require wood, but like the rocking chair, it takes 3 woods and 1 yen. So actually you only need 2 and 1 yen. So same with the mandolin, you only need in this case you only need 1 wood and 2 coins. So build them on this turn is the perfect time to really like leverage on this. And there's another place here, which actually is what you call the market. So if you put your worker here, you can actually leverage on the what the market is selling, and you can actually change. So this is a pretty most of the time when you couldn't get the resource you want, for example, especially this special one, which is called the I don't know, is it the book or knowledge? Could be the knowledge or something like that. And what you can do is that you can pay 1 coin to get anything you want, or you can use 2 similar resources and then change to one of the another resources, or 3 resources of any type and just change to 1 coin. So as you can see, this is where this feels a bit 4x, you know, building 1 resources, changing to another resources, getting resources to build your comforts. I almost wanted to say to build your wonders, and you know, okay, but you know what I'm trying to say. You know, it's kind of a 4x game, but it's decorated very nicely and wrapped around a very, very nice theme, which is a bit colorful, cheerful. You know, you don't really feel the stress of, you know, like building your wonders. You know, you need to invade other people. You know, advance in science and stuff like that. And you know, I'm talking about 7 Wonders, but anyway, this has a lot of common in other 4x games. And I always have this complaint that people tell me when I want to play a 4x game that it's boring. The artwork looks like, you know, whatever. Yeah, I don't know what to use the S word, but you know, it doesn't look nice. But this is the exception. It is a very nice team game that's built around kind of a 4x engine. Not really 4x, but you get part of it. You know, basically resource management, changing resource. There's no control, there's no conquering. So maybe 1 or 2 other X's, but let's just go on, and then I'll talk a little bit about 2 other things you can build on your house. So basically, these are what these are like. I can't really remember what's the name of it. Maybe I should find out. But anyway, there's 2 types. So one type is basically this kind of improvement where you actually get to unlock one of these housing tokens, and you need to buy this before you can build it. So what you need to do is you actually need to put one of your workers here, and then later that you need to assign a dice. So for example, if you have a dice of only 2, so quite unlucky for you, you can only buy anything that's below 2. That means you can only buy this or this. But if you're lucky enough, you get a 6, for example, so you can go all the way up to the tracks. Because I finished the game, so there's nothing else left here. But so as I was saying, you know, you can actually get 6 improvements here, and yeah, all of them has various different powers, so to speak. And you know, some of them has combo, like, you know, you actually may need another comfort or another power to actually, you know, get additional scores and stuff like that. And some of them allows you to build things that allow other people to also use it. For example, by building this field, other people can actually make use of it by putting a dice here, and you gain wheat when another players actually collects stuff, collect the 2 wheats here. So people might still want to do it because, you know, you get 1 but they get 2. So if they are in need of this even if you build this, is you know, it's a really good thing. So in this game, as you can see, it doesn't promote conflict, and there's actually no take that. You don't really, like, you know, sabotage your friends, you know, block them from doing this and stuff. And the game, in fact, if you play multiplayer, right, you're allowed to have different people on the same spot. So there's no such thing as, you know, I'm the only one who's allowed to do this here and stuff like that. So it's a very, very interesting game when you play this. So it avoids conflicts, but unfortunately there's also one problem with this. Means that when other people are taking their turn, you may feel a bit bored, because there's actually not a lot of things that is happening to you. There are a few cards that will affect you, like for example, you know, when our player play this, you get wheat, for example, and some other small stuff. But other than that, most of the time you're not really like doing much, but you can start planning where you intend to put the dice, because, you know, the dice has been rolled, so you know the value and stuff like that. So it actually is quite interesting in that sense. So I'm going to go through the last part, which actually is a big step of this card. These are called improvements, and they're basically items you can build for your house. For example, things like flute. So for example, this will be one example. If you own the flute, if you also have the mandolin, you will actually get 2 more points for victory at the end. So having this and this built, you actually will get 12 altogether, because it's like 4 plus 6, and you get another 2 here. So there are some very interesting stuff, like I mentioned before, like board game, piggy banks and stuff. I've only briefly only run through less than 10 cards because I play a very short game. So as you can see, there's a lot of stuff you can build hearth, which is a kind of like fireplace, bread. I failed to build the soup though. I wanted to make the soup though. It looks nice. I ran out of basically. Actually, I didn't run out of anything. I could have built this. Why did I not build this? Okay, supposedly I did. I will have to pay to wait. Too much room. This goes back into the nice game tray here, which they have provided for the Kickstarter edition. And actually, I have soup. Yay! I better go and change my score for my previous game. But anyway, so I'm saying that there's a lot of these cards here, and how the games ends is like I mentioned, you have this seasons card. So you would, once the last card turns over, winters arrive, and the games ends, and people gets to like build whatever they want, and then just retire for winter, enjoy your winter holiday. So all in all, you actually get to know how the gameplay works mainly. For multiplayers, basically, everybody roll their family dice, place all their workers, and then we roll the common dice, and it's actually fixed for the whole round until we flip this over, and everybody gets to do get to collect whatever that they have invested in. Or yes, I failed to mention one thing very important. So what actually happens if I were to put this, and in end, either I have a 6 that I use somewhere else, I don't intend to use a 6. What happened? I failed. I did not manage to get any of this. But don't worry, this game is not very punishing in the sense that it's okay to fail. Your worker just go back home a bit sad because he didn't manage to do whatever. But you get one of these tokens, which is called lesson learned. So it's type 1 is a bandage of either 1 bandage or 2 bandage, but actually it's a plus or minus. What this token does is that it's a very powerful token, where in the next turn, for example, if I were to roll, if I get, supposedly I roll a 5 here instead of a 6 here, for example, in this case, but I really wanted to do this, what I can do is that I can use this token, it's a plus, and I exhaust this token, and then I get a 6 instead. So it works that way. So it can either do a +1 or -1, and that is really fantastic because even if you fail to get whatever you want, you at least get one of those lesson learned token, which actually allows you in your next turn to modify the dice. And there's only a value of 1 to 6. Being able to +1 or -1 usually means that you have a range of 3 values, which is really fantastic for you to make some of the very ridiculous combinations. There are combinations here which can be very difficult. For example, like this, you need to have a dice and one after this and one of this, means you either have a straight or 4 5 6, 1 2 3, 2 3 4, and so on. So this is pretty hard, and as you can see, because it's quite rewarding, you get the knowledge, 2 knowledge, and 1 coin. Both of them are very valuable resources. So I'm going to kind of like run through some of the scoring so that you have an idea what is actually being scored in this game. So I already mentioned all the victory points is from these hearts, which actually is like how comfortable your character is. But other than that, you also get to score all the ones on your comforts, all the ones on your improvements, as well as in the end you also get obviously this also your cottage slot. See, depending on how much you unlock, if you unlock more of them, you actually get more of this. But actually unlocking the last one is not really that rewarding because you already get 4 points here anyway already. Do you still need that one more? It's entirely up to you. I did not manage to unlock the last one. I only got three improvements here, as you can see in my previous game. And lastly, any remaining resources also scores you points. So in the sense that you see the books actually scores you 2 points, the coins score you 1 point, and any other 3 combines will only score you 1 point. So as you can see, is quite critically important to get the book. And many of this, like for example, the recipe books require one of these. I'm not sure whether it's called book, but I call it book. Let me see what the official term is called. Not really here, but probably it's in front. I suspect it's called knowledge. Do you think so? No, it's called stories. So it's a very very nice term because it's like, you know, it's something that you collect and you can tell your, you know, your young ones about. So these are basically the story tokens, and many of this has actually require this. And as you can see, I also have a built tool including the board games. You know, board games can mix good stories and stuff, and so on. And then I think this fraction pattern book also, you know, is you know, their story to tell why the patterns is there, things like that. So it's a very very nice experience, especially you're playing with families, you know, with young ones. There's a lot of you know, thing that they can relate to, you know, all the fairy tales stuff like that. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to cut the scene out. I'm going to start preparing to rebox this, and then I'll talk a little bit about the way this unboxing thing works, and about some of the material and the quality of stuff included in these games. Okay, and we're back. So I'm kind of like got all the decks and everything sorted out, preparing to rebox the game. So this is a very different video from what you get from most videos. So the first thing is I want to say is that I folded the board, which actually the board is not that big. As you can see, it will fit nicely into this small box. So this is not a table hop, which is a good thing. And at the bottom of the tray, what you have is that actually you have this inlay, which is very nice. I don't know if this inlay is also by Game Trace, but what we do have on top, this is by Game Trace. As you can see, Game Trace here, this copyright. We have this creature comforts box with all the wooden tokens of all the various resources, from apple, wood, stone, yen, wheat, mushroom, stories, coins, and lesson learned. So all packed nicely into one with a cover, and you know, it's very very easy to deploy and play this. You know, just take it out and you know, you're ready. You just take the lid off. And here we have the 5 different fractions, all of their own, with their own dice, colors, workers, and as well as the, you know, the house token and stuff. So put them all nicely into each of the different fractions. I'm not too sure why I have an additional token here. Because I actually gotten this second hand from somebody. Maybe he has actually bought some additional tokens, but this looks pretty interesting because this is not actually the same one as the squirrel. Maybe this is one of the expansion part, which I'm not so sure, because included in this game actually there are like 2 expansions which I did not even run through, but I will now right now. So nicely, this portion is for you to put down all your improvements, not improvement, all your you know, your comforts, you know, like all your musical instrument, your rocking chairs, and you know, food and stuff. As you can see, there's a lot of space still available. I suppose if you can actually sleeve all the cards and it'll still be very nice fitting. What I do usually is all the additional tokens here, and I usually put this diatomaceous herb dry stick in order to, you know, keep the damp and moisture off the game. Below the tray here, we have you will see this is all the rest, the improvement which I did not use. For a solo play, there's actually duplicate cards, and there are certain improvements that's actually not in play, but we get some of these cards. I think there's only 12 of them, which actually is just nice. You won't get more than that. Yep, so these are the one that's used for solo. So what I can do is I can actually flip it up so that I remember if I'm going to play solo, this is all the things I need. And we have this ×5 and ×3 multiplier. Works really well. It's in the sense that, you know, if you run out of this kind of tokens, you can just put like 1 mushroom here and, you know, say that this is 5 mushroom here, which I have. There are some additional traveler cards as well, which is not in use for solo play. I think only 3 of them. As you can see, the artworks is pretty good. All of them is very very cute creatures. Even the, you know, the predators looks nice in this moose thing. And obviously I have not actually explored all the games because there's also this talents mini expansion. I think this comes with actually 5 other cards which probably give you more additional powers and stuff. There's also a second expansion here inside, which I think involve these tokens, and this one is actually the Dream Come True micro expansion. So the cards for the Dream Come True micro expansion actually has a place in the tray for you to store them, and after that you get to cover them up with you know, your travelers cards and the expansion. So this is the traveler cards, which actually I can just put on top. So they are all separated, and I know that I won't mix them up because these are used for the solo plays. I think I have some of these cards which is actually not flipped. Yep. So in the sense that you can see when I try and tuck the cards below, I've forgotten to flip them up. I mean, I'm a bit OCD about this. Don't worry about this. You know, just ignore me. And you know, you may remember your early bird first player token. Even have a nice place for them here. And doesn't this round shape remind you of something? Oh yes, of course. This is for the you know, the rondo thing, you know, where you get to and I forgot to mention that in the previous not in the previous section, that every turn this thing actually shift when the thing. So the one that you remember you get a coin and the rock actually changes every turn, and you know, every turn this shift around. So it's not every turn that you know, a big number like 6 is good, because at some turns you might just need that one, you know, forget. And so these games in the ways that plays the dice very well. There's no such thing as a bad roll. It's just depending on what you need when you need it. And of course there's also this nice portion for you to keep all your common dice. There's also one more piece. This corresponds to one of the thing on the board which I not figure out. I think this is probably because this is part of the expansion that I'm not really explore yet. That's why I'm not sure how this works. But if someone who knows how this works, you know, you can feel free to share it, because I only got this game yesterday and I can't wait to, like, you know, show this to everybody. So this part I need to figure out. It looks like there's this indentation here, so this could be for this. I remember this clearly goes in a way that, you know, it fits everything in. Just not too sure how does the fit everything in part works. Yep, here it is. You know, this is the for the corner. I don't know, and you know, you can't think that, oh, this is a hazard. I need to remember how all this works. It's not actually an issue. I'll show you why later. So there's also these cards, which actually I think there's also a track board behind for tracking. This maybe I can show you. These are the so-called different fractions. They are all symmetrical, but you know, they have different artwork to show you the different critters have the way they build their homes different. The squirrel builds it in a tree, you know, and then I can't remember what's this. Is it raccoon maybe? Yeah, and you know, the rabbit one I use is underground. So very nice artwork. You know, things that, you know, is in theme. You can relate to it very nicely. I think this goes here, if I'm not wrong. It should be okay. So I'm going to reveal the secret. I'm going to reveal the secret. There's actually a cheat sheet here that teaches you how to put. So this sheet is very important, especially if you have the deluxe version like me, which is I will show you how you know, all these icons, all these tokens that we have. These are the normal wooden paper token that you get. They're all the same, and then you still get a game tray though. They also mentioned that how to put the dice and everything, and this is how everything should put back. So the village dice is here. The common dice is called village dice, and then how this lay on top of this and so on, and then followed by the talent cards, and then after that they also mentioned that you put the valley cards over this side, over the village dice. So I almost got it wrong, so you have to put this one over here. Is this it? Seems to be. Still doesn't feel right. Why does it feel not right? I am not sure. Maybe it's because, wait, he says this is the valley cards. Oh, okay. So sorry. That is the player board. So these are the valley cards. So the valley cards is like the cards that are, you know, for the different seasons and everything. So see, nothing is wrong. There's always, you know, nice the nice layout. There's designed nicely for it, and then you can see that nothing is overflowing. The player boards, I have forgotten, is actually nicely placed here so that, you know, the dice doesn't run all over the place. As you can see, it's nicely placed. That's, you know, like, because there's game trays, and you know, like, they design very nice stuff to keep everything back in. And finally, you get your the Kickstarter sheet for explaining the deluxe edition, how everything goes in. The last part will be the board, and of course with the manual here. The manual is actually pretty good. colorful, explains all the various iconography. Also, the font is pretty big. There's illustration. There's not a lot of blank white spots and stuff, which actually I like. I think actually this is one of the few rule books that I actually enjoy reading. You know, because all the colorful stuff, everything. It makes you happy when you're reading it, right? So the setup is also simple. You know, it explains all the components, which this is very important for me. Whenever I get a board game, especially when it's a second hand, I will look through this, you know, to make sure that I got all my stuff, nothing's missing and every stuff. And then they explain how to set up the game. So there's a step by step, you know, like telling you which goes where and what they are. And then you know, explaining iconography and so on. So all in all, I think these rulebooks are really a plus. I think, you know, it's like not many rulebooks are, you know, written for easy readings. So anyway, there's also this last part that talks about the solo play, which actually is, you know, how you play your game. And you can actually even get you know, a cute name, you know, for getting a final score. So for example, just now, which comfort type did I craft the most? I think I have the most is I can't remember. It's probably food. I think I got 2 food. I think. So for example, so that will be a deliciously. So comfort aircraft. I craft 3 frugal. So it's deliciously frugal. So comfort snow. Sorry, I craft 5 comfort. So it's prepared. And then improvement, I got 3, which is a denizen. And then of course, which is your final score? I scored it's probably about to 55 of the wood. So I get the title here is deliciously prepared denizen of the woods. So as you can see, it's quite cute. You know, you get a title that you can kind of relate to that game that you play. And you know, they talk about one easy glance sheet right at the end, you know, explaining everything in a summary, where you actually can use as a reference. Not that the game is very difficult. So if to put it in the light to say that this is a way to trick you know, new players into, you know, playing Euro games, not 4X, but you know, like resource management and stuff. This will be the game you get. I know, introduce people to learn how to play resources, play turns. It's a lot easier than Wingspan. Okay, that's all I want to say. Okay, so thanks for watching. This is kind of a very unique experience for me, and I am also thankful that I managed to get this from a local seller. He's willing to give out this. I didn't back this in Kickstarter, which was kind of pricey for me because of the shipping at that point in time. And I was fortunate enough to get the deluxe version. If you see the deluxe version, I would strongly recommend getting it, because I think the cuteness and everything is worth the effort. And you know, why not? Since you're going to get such a, you know, like cute game and everything, you know, go ahead and get the deluxe version and everything. And I think this will be in my collection for quite a while. At least I know that I love the theme, I love the game, and solid materials. Actually, it's pretty heavy. I don't know why. Maybe it's because of the wooden tokens, but you know, it plays fast. I think, you know, solo plays about 30 plus minutes. Once you get the hang of it, it may even be shorter. And 45 minutes for, you know, like 2 or 3 players is really fantastic. Okay, so I think enough of my ramble. I hope you have enjoyed my video. Do subscribe and like, you know, as usual, if you like to see more of my videos. And I hope to be able to bring you something soon for other games. I hope to do something more unique, because one thing I find that, you know, there's a lot of similar coverage and stuff. So I want to be something different, so that at least it's helpful for people who, you know, like for example, if you're having certain problems storing certain games, I rather be doing some unique, you know, how to store this game and that game, or you know, rather than, you know, how to play that game, where you usually can find like 100 videos on, you know, how to do that all over YouTube and other stuff. So yeah, so that's kind of what I feel. But you know, if you have other thoughts and stuff, do leave me a comments. I think my comments are pretty lagging. I don't really get a lot of comments in my video though. And although my viewership has been picking up, I do hope that I get more support. You know, I don't really make money out of this, so this is really just a hobby, a like. It's really the way to, you know, get some encouragement. Okay, thanks. I'll see you again soon.